Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to everybody. Today's linear programming class. Today I am going to discuss about linear programming, and this is very important topic for you. Okay, let's get started. Do you know what is linear programming? Okay, let me tell you first the formal definition of linear programming. Linear programming is a mathematical system of determining a way to achieve the best outcome, that is maximum profit by minimum investment, given in a mathematical model whose requirements are represented in a linear equations or linear inequalities. Okay, this is the best method of modern scientific system, and you can use this method to get the best profit by minimum investment. Linear programming has objective functions and constants, okay, in which the decision variables x and y are expressed in a linear equations or linear inequalities. Okay, so this is the formal definition of linear programming, and you have learned the formal definition of linear programming. Okay, now let's make it clear with an example. Let's assume Mr. Korim is a shopkeeper. He sells cups and plates. Okay, cost of each cup is 10 taka and cost of each plate is 30 taka, and he wants to get the profit 2 taka by selling each cup, and he wants to get the profit 5 taka by selling each plate. And Mr. Korim is ready to invest at most 120 taka, and he can store at most 10 things by taking cups and plates. Okay, now how many cups and plates will he purchase so that he could get the best profit? That means how many cups or how many plates will he buy to get the maximum outcomes? Okay, for this, let's assume Mr. Korim will buy X number of cups and Y number of plates respectively. Suppose. Okay. So let's make the objective function. First, I will try to make objective function. Okay. So objective function becomes z is equals to 2x plus 5y, since he wants to get the profit 2 taka by selling each cup. Okay, but here the number of cups are x, so by selling x number of cups, he will get the profit 2x taka. Okay, by selling each plate, he wants to get the profit 5 taka, so by selling y number of plates, he will get the profit 5y taka. So his total profit is 2x plus 5y, which is denoted by z, and this is the objective function. Okay, now let's see what are the constants. Okay, the constant becomes x plus y less than or equal to 10. But why? Since he can store at most 10 things together, cups and plates. Okay, so x plus y less than or equal 10. Okay, And second inequality is 10x plus 30y less than or equal to 120, because he is ready to invest at most 120 taka and cost of each cup is 10 taka, so cost of x number of cups is 10x taka and cost of each plate is 30 taka, so cost of y plates is y number of plates is 30y taka. Okay, so his total cost is 10x plus 30y and it should be less than or equal to 120 and it cannot be greater than or equal to 120 because he is ready to invest at most 120 taka. Okay, now since x and y represents the number of cups and plates respectively, so they cannot be negative. Okay, this should be non-negative, that is x is greater than or equal to 0 and y is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so we got the objective function and we got constraint. Okay, so and this is a linear programming system. Okay, this is how you can express any problem in a mathematical system or linear programming system. Okay, in the next class I will solve it and I wish you best of luck. Thanks everybody. Allah Hafiz.